Natalie MacLean is an award-winning wine writer, sommelier, and self-proclaimed wine cheapskate. She not only writes about global wine, she trips through out-of-the-way vineyards in search of great wine buys. Her new book is called Unquenchable, a tipsy quest for the world's best bargain wines. It is my pleasure to welcome Natalie MacLean back to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Thank you, Fanny.
Nice to see you.
Great to see you too.
When you say bargain, you don't necessarily mean cheap.
Exactly. It's the price-quality ratio that I'm looking for. So the deals are when you can find wines that taste twice as expensive as they cost. That's what I was after.
I love that.
Yes.
And I learned a new word when I was reading Unquenchable, xenosilicophobia.
Right. Fear of the empty glass.
Fear of the empty glass. We have that at our house.
Do you?
Yes.
It's afflicting many people, I'm finding.
I know. It's a terrible phobia. Xenosilicophobia. And you proclaim in here that you are a highly functioning liver with a few superfluous organs attached.
Basically, yes. That's what it's about. But it's a professional, occupational hazard.
Of course. Yeah. All sommeliers have to have a good liver, I would suspect.
Exactly.
But
I'm very thorough with the
you
research.
Spit and do all of that. How many vineyards? How many characters? My gosh.
Yes. Well, you know, I kind of crowdsourced this book. So I sent out an email to those who get my newsletter, said, where should I go? Where are the deals? Got back thousands of responses, narrowed it down to about 200 wineries per region, went to 40, visited 40 in each chapter, 8 chapters. 3 end up per chapter in the book. So it's a funneling process down to the most characterful, interesting people I could find.
Well, and you went to the ultra-fashionable Tuscany and Bordeaux, and you also went to Sicily, the land of the midday sun.
Exactly, and that's a good insider tip that's in the book. Look for the less fashionable regions. So in Tuscany and Piedmont, you're going to pay up big time for a wine. But if you go down south, where they're not as well known, the grapes are kind of obscure, not brand name grapes like Cabernet, it's Nero d'Avola. You're going to pay for delicious wines about $13, $14.
I like that.
Yes.
I was in Sicily. I stayed in Sicily 3 or 4 weeks, and we had some beautiful wines I'd never heard of.
Absolutely.
Obviously. Something to do with Mount Etna?
Yes, I think volcanic viticulture puts a little fire into the wines.
And the winemakers, are they mostly Sicilian, or do the Italians come over and make wine, or the French? And because, you know, it's kind of a mashup. Who's making wine where? The Australians making wine in the Okanagan.
That's true. That's true. Mostly Sicilian, and most of the wineries have been owned by families for generations, which is interesting. We think of it as a new region because Sicilian wines are just hitting our shelves now. But
right. I heard one of the Antinoris was making wine in Patagonia or something?
Right, Argentina.
Is it true?
Yes,
yes.
They do a lot of joint ventures around the world, so when they've established their beachhead in their own home country, they like to experiment around the world.
Okay, do you remember the name of the wine?
I
don't.
No.
But I remember somebody saying to me, that's a good wine because it's really made by an Antinori, even though it's coming from...
Sure.
I don't mean that the Argentinians don't make good wine, or the Germans make good Rieslings. Rieslings get a bad rap, as you point out.
They do, and that's another insider tip. Look for a country that had a dismal reputation a few decades ago and still trying to sort of rehabilitate and recover from that. You'll find incredible deals in German Rieslings.
The unbearable lightness of German Riesling.
Exactly.
So cheap wines to drink before we die.
Well, I mean, there's so
cheap
many.
Isn't the right word.
No.
Inexpensive wines.
Value,
good value wines.
It's like
to
shopping
drink.
at an outlet warehouse. You know, you find that Versace jacket marked down to 10%.
That's the one.
It's the thrill of the hunt.
Yes, for sure. So the hunt has taken you to...
Well, here we have 4 terrific wines. We have Quails Gate Riesling from BC, $17. Now people look at me and go, well, is that a bargain? It is for the quality in the bottle. If you compare that to benchmark Rieslings from around the world, that's a steal. Zippy, zesty white wine, terrific. Alamos.
Paired with salmon, paired with what?
Oh, yes, seafood, salmon, just a whole range of dishes. It's
Even
very
if you
versatile.
don't like the Riesling or you don't think you do, try it.
Exactly, it's dry. It's dry. So then we motor over to Argentina with Malbec, which is a fleshy, robust grape, a great substitute for Cabernet. You're not going to overpay for it. The brand here is Alamos, made by the winery Catina. This clocks in only at about $13.
Really?
And you'll find it's just
price
juicy.
Range.
Exactly.
Well, especially when it's juicy, you know the notes. I mean, you know what this wine really says.
Exactly. Full body, but you know, most of us drink on a budget, and you know, we're not paying $50 to open a bottle with dinner. This is the price range we want to pay.
It's the house wine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or the wine when you've had too much wine.
Don't
Don't pull out the $50 bottle.
Exactly.
The Côte de Rhône or the Goats du Rhône?
Goats du Rhône. This is a cheeky winemaker from South Africa, a terrific region for bargains. He likes to play off the French terms and really ticks the French off. But he has some other fun labels like the Goat Father, which is an Italian blend. My favorite is a blasé-looking goat in front of a chateau. It's called Bordeaux.
The Bordeaux.
Yeah.
Or the Bordeaux.
Don't you like that?
And the Ghost to Rome. I've had that. That's
Yeah,
nice.
$12.
$12.
It's great. You can't
Hello.
go wrong. Yeah.
No, not with the $12.
No.
Like that.
Yeah.
You can buy two.
Exactly.
And this tribute, Sumac Ridge,
Yes.
lovely bubbly.
It's a bubbly that is $30, but with champagne you're going to start at $40, $50, and higher. So it's a terrific, zesty, good celebratory bubbly for the holidays.
And price?
$30.
$30.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not Veuve Clicquot?
No, it's not, but it delivers on the quality. Yeah.
Organic, not organic, there's a whole thing.
There is. And more and more vintners are doing that. And I think that's a good thing because it means they're paying attention to the process. There are the environmental benefits, but I think more than anything, it means somebody is paying attention to the vines in the vineyard and the process of winemaking.
Right, well, you met some great characters.
I did. That's
sure.
what I was trying to do, is tell the story of these characters, and in doing so, tell the story of wine.
Absolutely, which you did well.
Thank you.
There was a Berkeley grad. Where was he? Marco de Grazia. Do you remember
yes,
him?
over in Italy, yes.
Yeah.
He was very philosophical, and his father had written the Machiavellian book, The Prince.
Yes.
And so you meet these people that have gone into wine from other areas or careers, and they're passionate, but they have such stories to tell, and they bring such a wealth of experience to
Sure,
it.
it's one of those things many people say, I always wanted to open a restaurant. Now they're saying,
Exactly.
I always wanted to make wine or
Exactly.
have a vineyard. And then you talk to the people who have vineyards and find out how much work it is.
It is. It's fancied up farming is what
Maybe
it
better
is.
to, exactly, maybe visit the vineyard because then you're weather dependent and all of that. And South Africa, great fair trade wines now.
Right. Charles Back, the Goats to Rome winery, is very much into empowerment and that sort of fair trade movement. But a lot of wineries around the world are doing that now as
Did
well.
you find a good Pinot Noir?
Lots of Pinots. Chapter 3 in the book is about Niagara, and I also bring in the Okanagan. I think we make world-class Pinot Noirs. Heartbreak grape, difficult and expensive to grow.
Right.
But for the quality that we produce, which is sublime, it's a terrific bargain. Ours started about $20, $25 for a good Pinot.
So in BC, what? Blue
Same
Mountain?
thing, yeah, Blue Mountain, Sumac Ridge, Mission Hill. I mean, there's so many terrific producers. But you go over to Burgundy, France, home of Pinot Noir, you're going to start at 60. So,
See?
yeah.
So, once again, a bargain. We girls love bargoons.
We do.
Yes, we do. But again, it's good value.
It is.
And
it
that's
is.
what we all like to find, that wine, before they mark it up.
Exactly. And as Charles Back says, the first sale is based on the label. The second is based on what's in the bottle.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you, Fanny.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, too.
Unquenchable, Natalie MacLean. Remember to tune in to Timmy's Christmas Telethon right here on Shaw TV on Sunday, December 4th. And you can catch all of our conversations on YouTube or follow us on Twitter at Fanny Studio 4. On Monday, What is Wisdom? The editor-in-chief of Vancouver Magazine, Gary Ross, takes us inside the pages of the annual Power 50 issue to try and answer that question. And writer and poet Gary Geddes documents his travels through sub-Saharan Africa in his new memoir, Drink the Bitter Root. Thanks for watching Studio 4. There will be lots more on Shaw TV, only on Shaw TV.